The most difficult part of sales, by far, is objection handling, which is the skill of turning the no's into yeses. It is absolutely easy when someone tells you, yeah, I would love to work with you, I would love to buy your services. But the skill of turning that no into a yes is the thing that elite salespeople can do. In the last 1 year, I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to learn sales, persuasion, objection handling myself. And in this video, what I want to do is I want to give you the top 20 objections that you will get when you're selling high ticket and how to handle exactly every single one of them. I've bought programs where there wasn't even this much information in the paid program. I'm going to be putting on the screen literally 20 objections that you will face, and I'll be teaching you how to handle every single one of them. This is stuff that most people put in their programs. I'm just giving it away for completely free. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go. Okay, here we go. 20 common objections for high ticket closes. So my friends, in this video, I'm literally going to be covering every single objection that might come up. And honestly, most of these ones you will never get because it's very detailed. But if you watch this video like a fucking course until the very end, and if you learn how to handle these objections, I promise you, there's not many other sales videos that you need to watch. What I've personally done is I don't want to shit on other people's programs, but I watched a lot of paid programs, like sales parts, right? When they're teaching sales. I watch a lot of like objection handling, and they're paid programs that are costing 5, 6, 7, even 10 grand. They don't even go this deep into objection handling. And I'm gonna do this for completely free because why not? That's my saying from now on. Why not? Objection number 1. I need to think about it. Now, before we get into objections, here is the bottleneck that you gotta understand. Nowadays, I don't even get a lot of objections on my sales calls. Why? Not because people don't think it's not expensive, people don't think it's like they need to think about it, people think those things. But I actually diffuse the bomb before the bomb explodes. So I actually get their financial information, whether they have spouse or all that jazz, whether it's a good time to actually do this and stuff, like much before when it comes to before the objection handling part. So most people don't even come up with these objections, but let's say they do, right? Let's say you didn't diffuse the bomb beforehand and now I need to think about it. Got slapped to your face like this. Here's what you do. Now, you tell the prospect, the moment they say, I love it all, I need to think about it. And also when they say, I'll get back to you in the next 24 hours, I'll get back to you in the next 48 hours, give me a couple of days to think, I like it all, but I don't want to make a decision on the call. They're all the same. They just want to jump off the call, and I need to think about it is basically a polite way. There's two ways. Either it's a no, a polite no that they don't want to tell no to your face, or it's so much information, and I'm afraid to make the wrong decision on the call. Because when you're talking to the prospect, right? When you're talking to the lead, and you throw on and then you talk to the prospect, and you give them the price, you give them how much valuable it is, you run them through the entire program, they want to do it. But one thing at the back of their mind is literally telling them, hey bro, this is a little fast. Maybe you're not supposed to pay this much money on one call. You might not trust this person. All of these questions. Basically, they don't want to make a mistake. Okay? So when someone tells you I need to think about it, it's basically smoke. You need to first see behind that smoke if there's a real objection or not. Sometimes there are some real objections, and sometimes there's none. Literally, they just need to be pushed like 10% more and they'll buy. Okay, so what do I say when someone tells me I need to think about it? In every single one of these objections, here's what I say. I say, hey man, it's totally understandable. It's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Why? Because if someone tells you I need to think about it, and then you say there's nothing to think about, you lost the sale. Because they feel like you're trying to sell something to them, right? They feel like they're being sold. They're not supposed to feel like they're being sold. They're supposed to feel like they're buying, because people like to buy. People don't like being sold. So in every single one of these, I never say, after they give me the objection, I never say, but, no, but. You don't know how to objection handle. Simple as that. What you do is first, in every single of them, you say, hey bro, yeah, totally understandable, man. I totally get it. I feel you. No worries. Even when they tell me, hey man, can we open a call 3 days later? Bro, we totally can. I completely understand. But before I let you go, then you come in. Okay, so I need to think about it, Amit. Like, it's so much information. I kind of like it. I kind of like the program, but I gotta think about it. Hey, Martin. Hey, Martin. It's totally fine, man. Totally understandable. What I've realized from my experience of these calls is people actually have some questions and objections they need to have answered before they join the program. People don't go back to their house, sit down like this on their rocking chair, and then go like this. Should I join this program? Should I buy this thing? Should I do this? They don't do that. What happens is you go back to your home, you pick up your kids, you go to the gym, and then something happens at the home, right? You come back, like emergency, then you go to work, and this opportunity of you getting what you want, getting the dream outcome completely disappears. So why not? You tell me all the questions, all the objections you have right now, and then when you go home and when you think, you actually have something to think about. How does that sound? They say, yeah, cool, perfect. And then I say, awesome. So what are the variables you're thinking? Is it the price? Is it the fact that you got to talk to someone else? Is it maybe not the right time? Like, what is it? So I need to think about an objection is not a real objection. What you do is you go around that and you tell that person, hey bro, you don't need more time to make a decision, you need more information to make a decision. And because you need more information to make a decision, the only way you can get information for this program, for this XYZ that you're selling, is actually through you, because like that's the only way you can get information. So I'm sure you want to make an informed decision. I'm sure you want to make the best decision for your family, for yourself, for your future. So why not get all the information that you need, and then you can make the decision absolutely that you want. Ah, cool. Makes sense. Awesome. So here are the things that I'm thinking about. I need to think about it. If you lose a client because they said I need to think about it, there has been only one time I lost a sale for this, and I still remember it to this day. I used all of my, like when they said to me, I need to think about it, I used all of the things that I had in my arsenal. And the person was like, no, totally understand, love it, I just need to think about it. And they never turned back. And then I got it all like, okay, the guy just doesn't want to fucking think about it. It said no, just doesn't want to say no. So if you lose a sale to I need to think about it, it's honestly not a good sign, because I need to think about it basically means that you don't even know the actual objection. Like you lost before you fought, if that makes sense. Okay? Objection number 2, it's too expensive. Now, when it comes to the it's too expensive offer, here's what you gotta understand. People buy with two things, logic and emotion. And emotion is generally created by you diving deep into their pain. So I have a student who is selling a coaching program about how to talk to girls on the street, how to, get women's phone numbers, how to attract more girls and stuff like that. And what we've done with that guy is I've helped that guy twist the knife. In sales terms, that basically means being able to dive deep into someone's pain so much that they really want to buy whatever you want to fucking sell because their pain is so bad, right? It's like if you're selling the result, if you're selling the answer to literally cure the cancer, it doesn't really matter what the price is. You can charge whatever you want because people are going to buy it. Why? Because it's fucking the cure to cancer. They need that to survive. Okay. Now it's unethical. It's a little unethical to probably be like that, obviously. But if you think you're actually going to help someone, help them make the decision as well. It's not that it's too expensive, because nothing is expensive, nothing is cheap. Expensive and cheap is just words that we use to compare. I'll tell you, like, is $100 expensive or cheap? If you tell me expensive or cheap, you're fucking dumbass. You gotta ask me, what is it for? If I'm selling you a fucking bubblegum for $100, then you're like, it's expensive as fuck. But if I'm selling you a Ferrari SF90 Strandale, you're like, oh, like you'll never find this anywhere else. It's a fucking scam. Why? Because price is something that is compared to the value. If someone tells you it's too expensive, they basically don't get the value that your program or whatever you're selling offers. Imagine like this. If you're selling a fucking fitness program and it's coaching for 3 months, there's no guaranteed result. Yeah, they might even say, bro, $200 a month, it's too expensive. $200 a month, it's too expensive. But I've seen people close $10,000 for like 6 months of coaching deals easily. Why? Because they say, hey bro, if you do this with me, like this is the end result that is guaranteed to you. And if you don't get this end result, I'll keep working with you until you do, or I'll give you a refund. So when you actually communicate value to the customer, they buy. Why? Because they want to. Like, when do you buy? When the thing that you pay money to, the value that you get is more than the price you pay, you buy. If someone is telling you it's too expensive, you basically haven't given them enough value or communicated enough value about what you're selling that they think it's expensive. For example, If I told you, I will teach you how to make $2,000 a month online, just guaranteed $2,000 a month. Now, let's give a hypothetical example where I just did this and you make now $2,000 a month, right? Just this. No learning, no nothing, no working, just this. If I charged $4,000 for this, would it be logical? Let's think. You will get to learn with this thing, just doing this, $2,000 a month. And after 1 year of doing this, after 12 months of you doing this, 12 times, so you're gonna make $24,000, right? And if you just pay me $4,000, then you have around like 700, 800% return, something like that. Tell me another investment that you can make that is gonna return you more than 700, 800%. None. S&P 500 gives you, for perspective, 10, 11%. Sometimes 9. Sometimes when the banks are not doing well, you lose money. Does it make sense? It's literally just about logic. So let's say you guarantee the end result of them getting the dream physique, the six-pack. You can charge $2,000 for that. And if they tell you it's too expensive, right? If they can technically pay, if they might need to get a credit card, they might need to do installments, totally understandable. But if they just don't want to pay, they can pay, but they don't want to pay, you haven't dove deep into enough like pain. That's simple as that. You haven't communicated enough value. Because it's not that something is expensive or cheap, it's that what's the value that you're getting. Okay? Now, let me tell you how I would handle this objection. I've given you the understanding, now the objection handling time. Hey man, $2,000, let's say, for this program, I totally get it, like it's kind of expensive, I don't think I can afford that. Now, if someone tells me this, if someone says that $2,000 is expensive, that's another conversation. If someone tells me $2,000 is expensive for this program, that's a completely another conversation, okay? So I asked them this question. Totally understandable, bro. So when it comes to the payment, it's definitely about the value that you get. It's not about the price of it. For example, let me give you an example. If I was selling you for $2,000 at SF90 Strandale, a Ferrari, right? Would you buy it? Would you somehow find the money to do it? And they'll tell you, yeah, I would somehow find the money to do it. Why? Because logically it makes sense. Now, here's the thing. With this program, this is the result that you will be getting. This is the end result that is promised. Let's walk through the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. Now, I'm going to run you through a fucking hypothetical example. I don't charge $2,000. Like the example is not my example. Let me give you an example. Let's say after this program, you will be at a level where you're making $2,000 a month. In 6 months, you'll be making $2,000 a month. And if you're not making $2,000 a month, then we'll be refunding you, or you can continue working with us until you make the money. That means the end result that you get is 100% guaranteed. When that's the case, then the logic becomes, oh, okay, then it kind of makes a little more sense. It's still expensive. It kind of makes a little more sense. And there's a lot of different ways you can go about this. For example, one of the things that I like to say, because I actually work with people who want to build businesses, I like to say, hey man, how long do you want I can't afford it to be an excuse in your life? Because I promise you, if you do this, because looking at the results that we have, probably the excuse of I can't afford it is not going to be something that's going to be happening in your life anymore. How does that sound? Now, it's too expensive. I hope you actually get this objection a lot. The reason why I really hope you get this objection a lot is because it tells me that you're actually charging high ticket. You're charging good prices for your shit. What happens is a lot of people start charging like $200 a month, $100 a month, and then they never scale. Like you can't scale with that. The maximum you can go with that is like $3,000, $4,000 a month. Now, some of you guys might be like okay with that. Some of you guys might be like, bro, if I make 2, 3, 4K, that's perfectly fine for me. But if you want to scale, if you want to make money, you have to charge a lot of money for your stuff. You have to charge a lot of money for your stuff. So, I actually want to give you guys a couple of more ways to objection handle the it's too expensive. So let me go over some of the notes that I've taken here. Because I really think There are like 5 objections that you get all the time. And if you know how to handle these 5 objections all the time very easily, then what happens is you close 80% of the sales. Even though I'm going to be showing you a lot of things in this like kind of like course, fucking guide, like if you just know how to handle, I need to think about it. I gotta talk to my husband, I gotta talk to my spouse, I gotta talk to, or that like generally like I gotta talk to someone else, or it's too expensive, and I'll give you a couple of day same as I need to think about it. Like a couple of the basic ones, if you know how to handle these, generally it's gonna be easy for you to close deals. Okay, now one of the ways I like to close it's too expensive is I actually like to ask them, if all this does is get you to blah, blah, blah dream result, is it worth it? Hey man, I totally understand it's actually too expensive for you. I totally get it. No worries. If all this does is get you to getting the 6-pack, attracting your dream girlfriend, at making the money that you want online, is it worth it? And they go, if all this does is bring me the 6-pack, you know what? Yeah, it is worth it. Then you say, oh, interesting. Bro, I think you don't really have a problem with the payment. I think you have a problem with believing that you'll get the end result. Because if all this does is bring you the 6-pack, then you're okay with it. And if you're not okay with it now, that means you just don't think the 6-pack is guaranteed. Is that why? Let's talk about that first. Boom. So it's too expensive objection becomes, I actually don't trust you that you'll bring the results. I gotta check if the mic is on. It is on. If it wasn't on, I would have been like pissed. 10 minutes, again, record. So then you don't basically believe that we'll actually bring you the results. Because if we did, then you would have done this already. Switch the conversation to guarantees. Switch the conversation to testimonials you have. Okay? Now, also, a lot of people like to give this example of what's the difference between you and a self-made millionaire before he made it happen? Nothing. He was broke, you are broke. So it's actually not about the resources that you have. It's not about the money that you have. It's about you being resourceful. Because what happens is, sometimes shit happens in life. And the moment sometimes shit happens in life, you somehow find the way to figure it out. A bill comes that you gotta pay. You know, rent is due at the end of the month. And what you do is, and you don't have the money, what you do is you somehow find the fucking money to pay it. Right? You take an extra job, you do X, Y, and Z. You perform better in your job, get more commission. You do more sales if you're a sales guy. You do something and find the money somehow. You find the money and figure it out whenever it's for someone else. Why not find the money and figure out when it's for you too? Okay? So this is how you objection handle it's too expensive. Let's go into the next one. The next one that we have is I don't have time right now. Now, when I was starting to sell my products, I was first selling a productivity program on my YouTube channel. It was a $500 program, very, very cheap. And honestly, for the value that people were getting, it was a fucking steal. And like everyone that went through that program was so happy. I didn't even promote it that much. It was like a side project. I like to talk to people and like get them to become more productive. And because I was selling like productivity, I never got the objection of basically, I don't have time right now, because I was teaching people how to have time. And then when I started selling how to build an online coaching business program, then I started actually getting this objection, bro, I don't have the time right now. Number one, do you know how to diffuse this bomb? Very easily. Before you actually say the price, before the objection handling begins, what you do is you actually go and first of all, talk to them about their timeline. Let's say, like I sell a fitness, I don't sell a fitness program. Let's say I sell a fitness program. And for me, I need this person to go to the gym at least 3 times a week. And if that person goes to the gym 3 times a week, at least, that's going to be like 6-7 hours in total with meal prep, with like the protein shake after that, let's say. I asked this person, hey bro, like before you get into the price, before you get into the close, do you think you have the like 6-7 hours per week that you can put into getting the best dream physique that you want? If they say yeah, then you basically diffuse the bomb beforehand. They can't tell you I don't have time for this because they just told you they have time. They would be like going back on their word, and people don't want to go back on their word, okay? So you actually diffuse this bomb beforehand. For example, in my business, I help people build coaching businesses. And if someone wants to build an online coaching business, they need a minimum of 10 hours. Like minimum 10 hours, they absolutely need it. Now, most of my clients put in like 20-25 hours and they make a good amount of money. Like we got results of like 15K per month, 5K per month, 7K per month, 10K per month, like people who do those numbers. but they need to put some time into it. Like, this business is not going to fucking grow itself, right? And what I do is, before this part comes, in terms of I don't have time, I ask them, hey bro, do you have the time to build the business of your dreams? Like, let's say it takes like 10 hours a week. Is that something that you can do with your schedule? And if they tell me no, then I actually talk about that then before I tell the price. Because if someone doesn't have the time to build their dream physique, their dream business, they just don't give a fuck about it that much. It's not that they don't have the time, it's just that they don't give a fuck about it. For example, here's how I handle this objection. Someone came up to me and said, hey man, let's say I'm selling a fitness program again. I like to give the example of fitness programs because I don't sell one, right? Let's say someone came up to me and said, hey Amit, I don't have the time right now. I don't think I can do this with you, right? I asked this question to them. Hey bro, totally understand it. This requires 6 to 7 hours of time out of your hands of the week. And it looks like totally understandable. No worries. If your family needed you, like an emergency happened, like a bad emergency, would you be able to take off 7 hours of your week for them? Yeah, I would. Sure, right? So, okay. If that's the case, then that basically tells me it's not that you don't have the time. It's that you don't prioritize this high enough that you would give this 6 to 7 hours a week to this to make it happen. Because look at this, like you tell me that you don't have the time to exercise. Look at fucking Jeff Bezos. The guy's fucking in the gym every morning. Why? Because it's important to him. And the guy makes a gazillion times more money than you and me combined. It's not that you don't have the time. It's that you're not willing to make time for something that's important to you. How does that feel? Because that's the truth. Like, that's honestly the truth. If you tell me, hey, I don't have 6-7 hours to build the future business that's going to like bring me the financial freedom, the only way I would accept that is if you're working 2 full-time jobs with a family that you're supporting. If that's not the case, if a fucking university student is telling me I don't have the time to build my business, you know it's bullshit. Get them to realize it's bullshit. You know it is 100% bullshit. The only job you have is to get them to realize it's bullshit. Most of my clients have 40-hour work weeks, right? They have a full-time job and they want to quit their job, become an online coach. They work 20 hours on their business. Why? Because you have weekends. 7 hours, 14. Every single day, 1 hour on the weekdays, 20 hours. Done. 19. You say 20. Yeah. You have the time. Get them to realize they have the time. You know what you can do? You can get them to pull out their phone screen time and get them to realize they have 4 hours of screen time a day minimum. And that means probably 1 hour is like a person fucking needs his phone for an hour. Google Maps, phone calls, messages, that shit. The other 3 are completely for procrastination, social media and stuff. Imagine someone telling you they don't have the time to build their dream physique, but they have time to scroll to see ass. They have time to watch YouTube videos, be on the call with you, do different things, but they don't have the time to build their dream business. Is that the reality? Nah. Bullshit. Okay? Now, you actually get them to see that they have the time without calling it bullshit. You don't say it's bullshit. But what you say is, hey bro, I thought I didn't have the time as well. And then I looked at my phone and then I've seen that I was spending 4 or 5 hours every single day on my screen time. And then I realized I have the time. I'm just not prioritizing well enough. If something is important to you, you'll make time to do it. And if the prospect is telling you I don't have the time, then before this, you should have dived deep into their pain and how bad they're struggling because they don't have the physique, how bad they're struggling because they're not productive, how bad they're struggling because they can't talk to girls and stuff, right? The solution that you provide to the problem. And you say, I guess, bro, this is not that big of a deal to you because you don't want to solve it, looks like. Oh, no, I really want to solve it. 4, I need to talk to my spouse and partner. Now, when you are getting this objection, I need to talk to my spouse and partner. Here's what you're going to realize. This objection, there are 2 options. This objection might be a real fucking objection. Or this objection might be bullshit as fuck. The way you understand this is, number 1, a little by intuition, because you get good at sales. And number 2, you actually understand this by asking them the right questions. Now, how can that be a bullshit reason? How can that be a real reason, right? Let me give you an example. If you are getting someone to spend $4,000 on a fitness program, and they have a family and they will be putting themselves on a little under financial difficulty to pay for the program and stuff, then them wanting to talk to their spouse is kind of understandable. Another example, if you are getting someone who is a business owner to make a big business decision, and the decision is they will change their entire marketing strategy because your agency is going to be working with them now, and they want 100% going to talk to their co-founder, that's also understandable. If I was married and I wasn't making a lot of money like this, and I was only making, let's say, $3,000 a month, then spending $3-4 grand a month, $3-4 grand on a program, I would have to talk to my spouse for that. It does make sense. Or if I had a co-founder and I was going to hire a guy to do all of my YouTube shit, and I was going to pay him like $2,000 a month, then I would be like, okay, let me actually, talk to my co-founder, because like without him, I can't make a big decision like this, right? Which is totally understandable. But if that's not the case, which is kind of rare, or if it's real, you actually understand that that's the case, what you gotta do is you gotta get these people to admit to the actual objection. They will be telling you, if you sell like a cheap thing to more like teenagers, they'll tell you, hey, I gotta talk to my parents for this. Imagine a kid telling you, I want to build a business, I want to become financially free, but then saying, I gotta talk to my parents. Does it match? Nah. And if you're actually working with more like businesses, you'll get the objection of, I gotta talk to my co-founder. And if you're working with people who are like 20 to 30, kind of married, like in a relationship or stuff, you'll get the objection, I gotta talk to my spouse. Now, here is what you say. You say, hey, I totally understand. I totally understand that you gotta talk to your parents. I totally understand that you gotta talk to your spouse. I totally understand you gotta talk to your co-founder. Do they know you're struggling with this? Do they know you're struggling with your weight? Do they know you are struggling with making the money that you want to support this family? Do they know you're struggling with this productivity problem? Do they know that? Does your co-founder know that your guys' marketing right now sucks, right? And then they'll tell you, if they tell you no, they don't know I'm struggling, then I would tell them, hey bro, why the fuck would you give them power about making a decision that is so important to you they have even no idea about? Doesn't make sense. But if they know you're struggling with this, then the next question comes. Do they approve your current struggle? Do they want you to continue to struggle? Do they want you to continue to be fat? Do they want you to continuously be not making the money that you actually want? Do they want you to be unproductive, lazy, or in other case, I don't know, like, do they want you to not be able to attract girls? Like, then the problem is you wouldn't have a spouse. And then, after this question, if they're a fucking human being, they'll tell you, I mean, they don't want me to struggle. Like, they obviously don't want me to struggle. Why would they want me to struggle? And then you say, so why would they be against you having a solution to a big problem that you have? And then they'll say, because it's too expensive, because I'm not sure if it's good for me. They will say, you've used these programs in the past, be more careful this time. They will give you the actual correct objection after you go through this sequence. I totally understand. Do they know you're struggling with this? Yeah, they know. Okay. Do they approve of your current struggle? Do they want you to continue struggling with this? No, they don't want me to continue struggling with this. Okay, awesome. So why would they be against you solving this problem, solving this big pain that you have? Because of this. Cool. Solve that objection now. So, 80% of the time, authority is like, I need to talk to X person, is literally a bullshit excuse. So you go through this and get to the right actual excuse, get to the actual objection. But if you look at the situation and it's a logical situation that these people need to go and talk to their co-founder or like their spouse, then what you do is you book another call right in the call. You say, hey bro, I totally understand, because you can see you can't close this person because they will want to go and talk to that person. Like, you can't close this person because they have to get other people's permission for this. Then you say, totally understandable, let's book another call right in the call when they're with you to another call where that person is also going to show up. Awesome. So let's log on again on Saturday at 7 p.m. booked on Calendly, and then your spouse can be on the call. Then I can walk you guys both through the entire thing, or your co-founder can be on the call as well. Then I'll make another presentation. We'll keep guys both at the same time on the offer that we have, and then we can see. But the moment you do this, the likelihood of you closing is gonna go low. Why? Because the other way, like, you won't be able to close them at all, because they just gotta be like, they gotta talk to their partner. So what you do is, you don't let them go off the call and talk to their partner. You book a call that they will show up before they leave. That's 20% of the time. The other 80%, their co-founder is not on the call, or their spouse is not on the call. Their spouse is not gonna make this fucking decision. They're gonna make this decision, but they don't want to make a wrong decision, so they're saying, I gotta ask my spouse as well. I gotta ask my parents as well. I gotta ask this person as well. So in 20% of the time, that's gonna be the case. They have to talk to someone else, so you book the call before they leave. And the other 80% of the time, you go through the sentences I explained to you, and then you see if the objection is real or not, and then whatever the real objection is will come up, and then you handle that objection. And then basically you continue from that point. So this objection, I gotta talk to this person, as well as I need to think about it, are not real objections. These are smokescreen objections. What that means is it's not real, but the person is saying it because that's the first thing that comes to their mind, and they don't want to tell no to you. And you take this step to go towards, one step towards the sale. So the next objection is basically, I'm not sure if it's right for me. Now, if you get this objection, you have no clue how to actually take a sales call. So in my sales script, in my sales calls, in the end, before I make them an offer, before I tell them the price and everything, how it works, I ask them, from the things that we have talked so far, do you think this program is the actual solution that you need to solve your problem? And they tell you, yeah, this looks like the program that I need. And then I tell them the price. So after they told me themselves, hey man, yes, this is the solution that I need. This is what I need this to get to the next stage, to get to my dream outcome. Now they can't tell me I'm not sure if it's right for me. Why? Because they told you already. So objection handling generally doesn't happen after you'd say the price. The best closers handle the possible upcoming objections before the objection happens, so that when the objection happens, like the only possible objections that could happen are it's too expensive, or like a couple of them, they have some questions. But objections are non-existent if you actually know how to take a sales call, which I can make a video about. So if you get this objection a lot, what you do is, before you tell the price, before you tell how exactly the details of the program work, when you're making an offer, right? Before you make the offer, you say, hey, until what we've talked so far, before I tell you the price, before we get into the payment details, right? Do you think this program is what you need to get to where you want to go to? If they tell you no, then you dive deep into that. But then that's not an objection because you haven't said the price yet. If they tell you no, then basically they kind of have to say yes because you've been having the fucking conversation for 40 minutes about their pain problem and how you can solve the pain problem. Hey bro, we teach people how to lose weight. Do you think you should lose weight? The guy's sitting like this. The guy's like, I don't think it's the right fit for me. How the fuck's the right fit for me? Like, I would throw a fucking, basketball from 100 meters ahead. I would fucking hit you still. You get the point, right? And then if people give the objection, I'm not right sure if it's right fit for me, then you basically ask them, bro, what are the goals that you have? I want to do this and this and this. Perfect. That's what we teach. And if you don't get this outcome guaranteed, then you don't have to pay. Oh, okay, it's the right fit for me then. Does it make sense? Like, this is not a fucking objection. I wrote it here, but maybe I shouldn't have wrote it. You shouldn't get this because you actually make sure before you tell the price to them that they want to buy it. Let's see if they can pay for it, if that makes sense. Okay? Now, the sixth one. I've done similar programs and they didn't work. If someone tells me this, I would say, hey bro, I totally understand. I definitely understand you, right? If you've been burned by something like this once, you definitely don't want to make that mistake again. Am I correct? Yeah, you're correct. Awesome. So here's the difference by us. When it comes to working with other programs, let's say the program was they were going to lose weight. That was the program. Awesome. Did they have a guarantee that if you didn't lose the weight, if you didn't get to that end result, then you would get your money back? Or they would continue working with you until you lose the weight? Was there a cause like that? Like, was that a deal like that? Or was it like, hey, yeah, we coach you on losing weight. You're probably gonna lose weight. We don't guarantee results. What do you think what was the situation? They will tell you they never guaranteed me a result. Why? Because no one has the fucking balls in this industry that they can guarantee an outcome. No one has the fucking balls. So they'll tell you, yeah, I bought like these weight loss programs, but like they didn't work for me, and then I lost my money because like there wasn't a clause, like I couldn't get my money back. So what you say is, hey man, totally understandable. The reason why those workout programs, the reason why those fitness programs didn't work for you is simply because, number one, they did not care about you one-on-one, exactly like we will care about you here one-on-one. And number two, we have this complete guarantee that if this is not what we're promising, if you're not going to get the end result, I actually don't want to be paid from you. If I don't bring you to, you're right now 90 kilos overweight, you're supposed to be 75. If you don't lose these 15 kilograms, 33 pounds, I promise you, you either can request your money back from me, so you have paid nothing, even though you probably lose some good weight, or I keep working with you until you lose the weight. How does that sound? Solved. If they bought someone else's program, it's actually much more likely that they'll buy yours, simply because other people generally suck. And if you're a little good, then you can make it fucking happen. Okay? So I would say if you show them your guarantee here and then tell them the reason why you're different is because you have more one-on-one touches, you care about the client more, your business relies on more results-based, and then on top of it, you tell them the guarantee, and the guarantee is actually not like a fucking verbal guarantee, it's something under contract. If you literally don't lose the weight, you can come back to me and say, hey bro, this didn't work for me, I want to get my money back. Totally understandable. Then they'll buy. Okay? Number 7, they tell you, I want to do more research. Perfect. Hey bro, I totally understand. Absolutely, you should make your research, right? Are there any other competitors they want to talk to beforehand? And if they have any other competitors they want to talk to before you, let's say you're a marketing agency, and now I don't like to give marketing agency examples, but here we go with that. Let's roll with that. Let's say you're a marketing agency, and they told you they have 4 other marketing agencies they will talk to after you. Here's what I would say. Hey bro, I totally understand. I know you want to make the absolute best decision that you want to. I'm totally cool with that. And in fact, here's what we do. When is your last appointment with the last marketing agency you want to talk to? It's on Friday. Cool. So let's not have this call. Let's go and get you to talk to all the other marketing agencies. And if one of them, you like them, and if it looks everything is perfect, go work with them. But if they're not exactly what you're looking for, then on Sunday, let's hop on another call and then talk about maybe ours could be the one that you're looking for. But I want you to first go and talk to other ones. Okay? And then on Saturday, Sunday, let's talk about this back. How does that sound? They'll be like, fuck. Every other one I talked to so far wanted to fucking close me on the spot. But this guy is saying, cool, talk to other people. I don't care. Probably they're the best because they kind of don't give a fuck if they get more clients because they have probably enough clients. And if they have enough clients, then that means clients aren't leaving, which means they're probably good. People want what they can't get. Just tell them, yeah, bro, if you need to talk to other people, right? This is not if you want to make more research. That's an objection. This is like, I'm going to talk to a couple of more people and then I'll make a decision. Cool. Go first, talk to them and come back. I'm here. No worries. Okay? Now, when it comes to having to do more research, what you have to do, again, before you tell the price to them, is you have to communicate to them that this is the right time to actually get started. For example, a lot of people come to me and say, hey man, I've been wanting to start an online business for a long time. I've been wanting to build an online coaching business for a long time. I haven't gotten to do so. I haven't gotten started yet. And then we come to the end and then they tell me, for example, I want to do more research. What the problem that I had there was I should have communicated that now is the right time for them to actually take action because they've been postponing this decision for a while. For example, what might happen is they might be wanting to lose weight for 2 years, but they haven't lost it, and they tell you they want to make more research, right? Here's what you can tell them. Hey, Jeanette, perfectly fine. If you want, let's schedule a call 2-3 months from now, and let's see if you're actually going to lose weight or not in the next 3 months when you're not working with us. Because in the last 2 years, you've been wanting to lose weight, you've been wanting to get into better shape, but you couldn't. And now you're telling me that you want to postpone it a little further. Don't you want to get in shape? What is the research that you want to do? Tell me all the things you want to research about, right? I'll give you all the information that you need. Probably, I want to do more research is exactly the same as I need to think about it. Exactly the same. Cool. What are the variables that you want to research? What are the variables you want to think? I want to think about if I want to lose weight or not. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you, I want to think about, do I really want to do it? Dive deep into pain then. When you dive deep into pain, they will want to. Okay? I want to do more research. Honestly, you won't even get this a lot. It's that they'll tell you it's too expensive. I don't have the time right now. I don't think about it. That jazz. But the way you solve this is, again, the first one, I don't think about it, is kind of the same. Okay, we are continuing with the objection number 8, which is I don't feel ready to make this commitment. Now, my friends, why you will understand this, again, I'm saying this all the time, but this is extremely important. Most of these objections should have been handled before you set the price. For example, if this guy doesn't feel ready to make this commitment, let's say we're talking about from a place of you're teaching a how to make money online method, and this guy's buying your program, and the problem is this guy's working a 9-to-5 job that he absolutely hates, and he's really like, he just doesn't like the job, he just doesn't like the circumstances, he hates the job completely, he wants to finally get out of that situation, and all of those things are happening. And when he says, I don't feel ready to make this commitment, here's what you say. Hey man, until so far, by the way, this is not like a script. Everything that you say in terms of objection handling and in the sales call, after when you get really good at this, should be completely with your intuition. You should understand why the person is saying that and helping that person get through the bridge if you think they need to be helped. For example, I teach people how to become online coaches with my program. And when I look at the people I work with, literally look at these people. Like, these people are making, like, I literally write their names here, right? Because I trust my product so much. These people, they're all changing their lives. They're all making money online. They're all getting to the next stage of their lives. And before they started working with me, all of them were at a much worse position in their lives. The guy was making 2-3K a month, was 9-to-5, now is making 10K a month. There's a guy, Toprak, this name. The guy was making 0 and now is making 15-20 grand a month every month. And when I look at these results, the person who's on the sales call with me, I really want to help that person as well, because I know his life is going to be completely changed, because I spend all of my time like a complete immigrant who's a Turkish guy living in Germany, like an immigrant I am, just working on my product, making it better. And I know if that person joins, his life is going to be completely changed. Because of the fact that I come from a place of that, when the guy says, I don't feel ready to make this commitment, here's what I say. Hey bro, I really understand you. But here's the problem. You haven't made this commitment in the past. And because of that, these are the results you've been getting. It's been 4 years of you being in your 9-to-5 job. And if you don't do this program, if you don't work with me, if you don't do this X thing, in the foreseeable future, this situation is not going to change. So either you face the pain of change or you face the pain of staying stagnant. And you have been in this position for a long time. How does it feel? The reason why you're on this call with me right now is simply because you want to change your situation. I get it's a big commitment. I understand it's a big deal. I understand maybe the money is a lot. Maybe it's this big life change where you want to switch on to this. I completely understand. But the reason why you're here is because you don't want to experience the same pain you've experienced for the last couple of years. Isn't that correct? It requires you to become a different person if you want to get to the next stage of your life. When I look at my life, every single time I went through huge discomfort, I came out on the other side stronger. And if this thing is going to make this person feel like, bro, I feel like I'm just not ready, I tell this to them, you're never going to feel ready, bro. By the way, it's okay if you don't join the program. But just know this, you're never going to feel ready. Before I was building my business, before I was making huge jumps, I never felt ready. But I knew it was the right call to do, and I did it anyway. That's why I'm here. That's why you want to learn from me. Okay? I totally get that it's a big commitment. And by the way, if it's a financial big commitment and they can't pay it, like they literally can't pay it, which is the next one, you can divide the shit. We'll talk about that. But if they just psychologically don't feel ready, dive deep into their pain and get them to realize that if they don't join, if they stay stagnant, that's actually worse than if they join. Especially if you really trust your product. Okay? Most of these things will come to the same thing. At the same conclusion is you have an incredible product and you just try to get these people to actually see that it's going to change their life. Because if these people see your product as you see it, as you see the results, right? They know they will buy it because you know they'll buy it because it's actually amazing. but they won't feel like they're on the call. So you need to help them. You actually need to help them make a decision that will change their life forever. Okay? Objection number 9. I don't have the money right now. So this objection, I'm going to teach you guys how to handle it in not like a salesy way. What I do here is, when someone tells me I don't have the money right now, what I do is I actually don't talk about the money first. I say, hey bro, totally understand, no worries. What I want to ask you is, if money wasn't an issue, if you had the money to join, if you had the money to buy this, right? Do you have any other questions, literally any other questions except the payment details, except how we're going to finance that stuff? Don't give a fuck about that. Any other questions, any other objections that you have, so that we can tackle them first before we get into the payment stuff. And if they say, hey bro, this is a 10 out of 10, I love everything. If I had the money, I would just buy it like straight away. The only problem is I just don't have the money. I just don't have the finances. Totally understandable. Hey bro, here's what I want to tell you. If you think this is going to change your life, if you think this is going to be the thing that you need to get to the next stage, to get to the dream outcome that you want, I'm willing to open up what I can do for you to get you inside of the program. But at the same time, I need to be able to have an honest conversation about your finances. Is that something that we can do? The person's going to say yes. And then you actually look into their situation. You don't offer a payment plan right away. You don't say, if they can't pay, you don't go like, oh yeah, we'll just split it. No, that means you didn't handle the objection. You just literally gave it away into their hands. Okay? What you do is you first see if you can close with paid in full. And if you can't, then you look into the other payment options. Possibly, if we did this, if I was going to do this for you, most of clients pay in full, they join. If you don't have the finances, some people, it might be the case. If I did this instead of one-time payment, divided that into 3 months, so you could pay it like that, is that something that you could do? If I was taking this step towards you, would you be taking a step towards me as well? Okay? And in most cases, if generally they have the money to pay, but they don't have the money to pay right now because it's 1 week until they get paid and stuff can happen, you divide it up, and then generally you get a deposit so that you see their commitment, and then you get them to join the program and they can pay the rest once they're inside. But you never let anyone to actually join if they're not paying anything. What I do is, nowadays I don't even take honestly any, depending on the situation, if I think a guy is going to fucking crazy crush it, then I might divide the payment, but I don't even divide the payment because I don't need more clients. Like, we have a lot of clients, I'm delivering the results for the clients now. But for most people in the beginning side especially, they will want to still be able to get this client in. So what you do is you get them to put a deposit, and the deposit needs to be something that they actually put where they're like feeling like, okay, I'm still in. It can't be like $50 they're putting in and they're like they joined. It doesn't work like that. They need to be, for their current situation, put a considerable amount of money down so that you know they're actually in it, and they'll pay the rest when they have the money, once they get paid from their job next week. In most cases, if you charge high ticket, you might have to divide that up. And here's a big change for you. There's an app called Klarna, and Klarna is basically a payment processor that allows you to divide the payment up on your customer's end. For example, it's going to be 1,500. You divide it up to 3 months. It's 500, 500, 500. The customer pays from his credit card 500, 500, 500 in every single month, but you get paid together in the beginning. You get paid 1.5K, 1.49K. They probably get like fucking 0.1% or something. And then that's something that you can do as well. For them, it's divided. For you, it's not divided. So pretty much the same. It doesn't really change anything, right? But even if it's not that situation, if the person is going to get paid next week, but they want to join, get them to put a deposit down, get them inside the program, and then they can pay the rest once they're inside, if you trust them. If you don't trust them, schedule a call for next week. If they feel like they just want to join for the first week and then just cop out, right? Then what you do is you just get them to schedule a call for next week, hop on a call once they get paid, then if they want to join, perfectly fine. But generally, if they book another call, you lose the chances because they might not be at the same mental state. They might not show up even. You got the point. Now, number 10, what if I don't see results? I actually, honestly, let me be honest with you. I didn't think this was an objection. I didn't think this was an objection for a long time. I never faced this objection for a long time. And then I watched a couple of my clients' sales calls. So they took sales calls, and I watched the sales call. I'm like, literally, my favorite thing in the world is, my friends like watching football games, basketball games and shit. I like watching sales calls. And then I like giving feedback on it to my clients. a dude in my program, like, I'm not gonna name him, starts with an R. The name starts with an R. you know who you are, bro. And he got this objection that, bro, what if I don't get results? Like, what if I get started, but like my grades don't improve? He was selling a thing. He was selling a how to get better grades program. This was a good time in the past. And honestly, the way you solve this objection is simple, bro. Have a guarantee. Like, how do we make money? We make money when we can actually get someone to have some sort of value, right? We need to provide some sort of value to someone. And if that person has worked with you and didn't get the end result that you promised that person, that basically you just didn't provide value. And if that's the case, don't get paid for that. Like, be honorable, don't get paid for that. If the person tells you, what if I don't see results? I tell this, hey bro, here's my agreement to you. If you don't get this X outcome, even if you do X, Y, and Z, right? Let's say you join the program, you take all of the lessons, and you do what we say, and you don't get the results, right? Give your money back. Sure. If you have a fitness program, right? And they're like, oh, what if I don't get results? Tell them, if you do the workouts, if you do track your eating, and you don't lose the weight, get your money back. I'll give your money back, no worries. And when you give people their money back and stuff, when you give this guarantee, you have no clue how many more people will actually take the deal. Like, so many more people will actually take the deal because you have a guarantee. Like, tell people. And what I've realized is, after we came up with this get your money back if you did X, Y, and Z, a lot of people started scamming a lot of people. People were like, sure, but we need you to, sure, you can get your money back, but you have to do 150 outreaches every single day. That's the cause. You will have some causes. Don't give the money back to someone who's a fucking lazy piece of shit, joins a program, and then does nothing and requests his money back. No. But if someone joins, right, does everything you say, and then they don't get the result, give their money back. Do you know why? Because that means your advice sucked. In the other case scenario, your advice didn't suck. They sucked. If they sucked, they still have to pay. But if you suck, if you as a coach suck, if they trust what you say, right, and then they do exactly what you said, and then they don't get results, they show up to every call, they do what you say, they send outreaches, they do exactly what you say, and they don't get results, give their money back. Why not? Just give their money back. Don't have a bad reputation. Give their money back. Okay? So, how do you solve what if I don't see results? The simple way you solve that is you give a guarantee, and if they don't achieve the guarantee, refund them, keep working with them until they get the result X, Y, and Z. That's it. Objection number 11. I'm not sure I'm the right fit for this program. And again, I'm not sure if this is right for me, or I'm not sure I'm the right fit for this program. It's the same exact handling. You handle this objection before you go into the sale. Before you go into the sale, you handle this objection, and you actually ask this person beforehand, before you say the price, so they're like more with you. You say before you say the price, you simply say, do you think this program, what I've talked about so far, is the thing that you need to get you to the dream outcome, to get you to 5K a month, to get you to get the six-pack, get the girlfriend, all that jazz? Do you think that's the case? They tell you yes and no. If that's no, objection handle. If they say yeah, perfect, move into the sale, move into the price and everything. And then if they tell you, I'm not sure if the right fit, just remind them 10 minutes ago you said the opposite, bro. Okay? So, number 12. I actually added this because I got this last month. So, what I do is I do a diagnosis of a person's business, and then I tell that person, hey bro, these are the next 3 steps that I would take with you to get you from where you are now to where you want to go, right? I tell them this is exactly the plan, right? And when I tell them this, the guy told me, again, can't say the name, this name begins with an F. So this guy told me, yeah bro, thank you for telling me all of these things. I will go and implement these first myself, and then if I actually can't achieve the result, I'll come back to you, right? And I told him, bro, the things that I told you in terms of doing more outreach, booking more sales, and everything, right? Didn't you know these things? Yeah, I knew these things already. Cool. How long have you been trying to build this business? 2 years. How many clients do you have? 1. How has that trying it myself been working out so far? Clearly not well. And at one point, this guy was very convincing. This guy was like, yeah, bro, no worries. I'm just going to try it myself and then come back to you. I told this guy literally, bro, and his business was like, literally, he was charging $100 a month for the coaching client. He had like 1 client only. I literally told his face, bro, you make $100 a month from your business. How the fuck do you not need any help? And then he was like, well, when you put it like that, yeah. So when someone tells you, I want to try it on like myself first before your help, You say this: how long have you been struggling with this problem? For 2 years. If you don't work with me, here's what's going to happen. You won't have the tools and resources and the systems and everything that you need to make this happen. You will continue to struggle. And as you continue to struggle, you'll come back to me 2 months from now and say, hey man, still the same situation, didn't achieve anything yet. So why not actually not procrastinate and not get any results for 2 months, but actually get started today? So 2 months from now, you already have the dream business that you want. Which one sounds more logical? When someone tells you, I want to try it myself, it's not their first try. They've been doing it for a while and they fucking suck. And because they fucking suck, don't get them to suck for longer. Don't allow them to suffer more. Help them to make a decision so they fucking stop suffering. If your product is good. My product is good. If your product is not good, go work on your product first before you learn about objection handling. Okay? So, number 13. How is this different than other programs? Now, my friends, I actually suggest this to every single person that I'm working with. Every single person, online coach that I'm working with, they need to have a guarantee. They have to have a guarantee. Why? Because we live in this age where everyone wants to be an online coach, everyone wants to do something online, and everyone wants to, build a business and stuff, and they all fucking suck. And because they all fucking suck, what happens is the clients that they had also don't have any good experiences with them. Their reputation goes really bad. So what you do is, you actually put up a guarantee to your program and say, hey, if you don't achieve these results, if you did everything that I told you, then just get your money back. How is this different from other programs? We have only one thing that's different from other programs. It's fucking results. Look at the testimonials. Show them the PDF page that you have. I have a PDF page where I have all my testimonials. I walk them through all of them. It takes like 10 minutes. I'll just say this guy went from this much to this much. Top rank 0 to 15K. And then we have 15, 20K. Stan 2 to 10K. We have Liam went from 2 when he was working with me. Now he's making 10, 20. Like when I go through all of these things, right? What's different with your program? Yeah, we have results. I know everyone else in the industry, the results are even not like 1/4 of us. Every person who works with us gets results because if they don't, they keep working with us until they do. Simple as that. That's a different thing, okay? If they tell you, what's different about you, don't tell them we have more calls, we have more blah, blah. Just tell them the results. Why? Because everybody can put up more calls than you. Everybody can we have a longer fucking course. Everybody can say something there. But the only thing that's true is if you have the results that they want. That's it. Number 14. I need time to think about this. Honestly, fucking the same. You don't need time. You need information to make a decision. And when you leave this call, you won't have any information to make a better decision. So all the questions, all the objections that you have, just send them over my way. So I actually reply to all of those so that when you leave and go on your way, you have something to think about. So in the past, I used to make this mistake in objection handling that. I would tell people, don't leave this call basically, right? Because you need the information to make the better decision. But now I started telling people, hey bro, no worries, you can absolutely leave. You can absolutely, we can absolutely reschedule a couple of days from now. But before I let you go, then I continue. So there was a couple of sentences when I tell them, hey man, let me give you all the information that you need so that when you go, you actually know what to think about. Again, I think I learned that from Andy Elliott. It's a good close. And when they tell you, I need more time to think about this, you tell them again, you don't need more time to think about this, you need more information to think, right? And you get this information from me because there's no one else on the face of the earth that's going to give you the information about this program. So let me answer all the questions that you have, all the objections that you have, and then if this actually doesn't make sense for you, if this is not the thing that actually gets you to your dream outcome, I promise you, I'm on your side. I don't want you to do this. Okay, tell this to them. Hey bro, if this was not going to be a logical, not an emotional, a logical good thing for you, honest to God, I would not be actually trying to get you to this program. Why? Because I actually don't give a fuck about the 1, 2, 3K they're going to pay me. You tell them this. You tell them that I don't give a fuck about the 1, 2, 3K they're going to pay me, bro. Because we already got 7 clients this month. Let's say we charged $3,000. We made 20K this month. And I have 5 more calls booked after you this week. Like, I technically don't care if this one closes or not. But I know if you join, your life is going to be changed. So I want to do this for you, right? I want to do this literally for you. And because of that, I know you need more time to think about this. You continue, okay? They really need to feel like, and also you really need to do this. When I open a sales call, my goal is definitely not to close the person. My goal is to help that person. And if that person is someone who ends up basically they need my help because they haven't been growing their online coaching business, then I actually do my best to close that person. Why? Because I know if they join my program, their life is going to be completely changed. But, if they are not a good fit, I just don't close them at all. Like I just tell them, hey bro, I don't think we're a good fit. No worries. That's why, because I want to help people, because I know if I'm 100% genuine, I actually want people to win. It's going to be the easiest way for me to become like an elite level salesman. Why? Because the best sales guys just try to help people. If you just try to help people, I promise you, your close rate is going to go through the roof, and the people you work with are going to be the right people 100%. Okay? Objection number 15. I'm worried I'll get overwhelmed. Now, my friends, what I'll tell you is, you've realized the first 5 objections, I took literally 10 minutes to explain each objection. But the 15th objection, 16th objection, I'm not spending that much time here. Why? Because the first 5 objections I wrote here are going to be coming up to your face every single day when on the sales calls. Let's say I have 5 booked next 2 days, right? What's going to happen is I need to think about it like 2 times, expensive 2 times, not have the right time once, talk to the partner again 2 times, like I'm going to hear all of this jazz again. And you will as well. So what we do is we spend more time practicing the top 5 and a little bit of time practicing the last couple of ones. That's why I'm like a little faster here. Now, I'm worried I'll get overwhelmed. So if someone tells you I'm worried I'll get overwhelmed, this is an insanely easy objection. Why? Because when you think about it, the person is already sold. The person already wants to buy, but they're just a little worried that they're going to get overwhelmed. And you say this, hey bro, here's the thing. I've been doing this for a while. I worked with many people. I'm currently working with a lot of people, and I worked with many people as well. And what I'll do for you is, yes, we have like a specific roadmap that you normally need to follow. But if you want, if it's a little overwhelming to you, I will make you a new roadmap where I just work with you one-on-one to get you to the dream outcome where you don't get overwhelmed. So this is all on me. Trust me, I got this. Don't tell them, no, you won't get overwhelmed. Because they'll be like, well, what if? You say, hey bro, no worries if you get overwhelmed. I don't think you will because we've been doing this for a while. We've had people, we have many people, tens of people go through this exact program they're going to go through, and not many people complain about that. But if that specific situation happens for you, no worries, I got your back. What I'll do is I'll literally work with you completely one-on-one until you get the result. How's that? They're like, oh, perfect, thank you, awesome, let's go. Okay, so this one, insanely easy to close. Now, number 16. I've been burned by programs before. Now, this kind of depends on, honestly, a little other people's situations as well. Like, I've had people who came up to me who were like, bro, this guy scammed me and stuff. I'm like, I wish I could put them out of business, honestly. So that, like, literally, the people who are online coaches were only actually helping people. Now, when someone tells you I've been burned by the programs before, what I do is I actually don't try to give them like an emotional support. Okay, you give the emotional support, but like the emotional support is basically trying to convince them to buy now. What I say is, bro, we have literally, like, the reason why you're burned in the last one is because they didn't guarantee an outcome and you didn't get the outcome they promised, and that's why you're burned, basically. Right? You bought for something, you didn't get that something. So the solution to this, again, have a guarantee, and your guarantee is going to solve this. You say, perfect, man. I'm just going to tell you all the testimonials that we have, all of the people we worked with. And the thing is, all of these are real people. You can check out their Instagram handles, shoot them a DM, and talk about their like experience working with us. But here's the guarantee. If you don't get this outcome, then just get your money back. Or keep working with us until you get this dream outcome. So if you think you get this dream outcome, are you burned? No. If all this program does is get you to this dream outcome, is it worth it? Yeah, cool, let's go. Because if you don't get this dream outcome, no worries, don't pay us. We don't need to get paid. Boom, you solve it, okay? Number 17, what if my situation is different? Now, what if my situation is different? I've actually heard this once, and this was a guy who really wanted help, and he was so like on the corner that like he was stuck at this job that he really hated, and at the same time the price of the payment was also all the money that he saved up, which wasn't a lot, honestly, but that was the situation for him. And he was like, nothing is working, man. Like, this is my last chance, and I really don't want to make a bad decision here. So he said, what if my situation is different? And I told him exactly the thing that I said in the 15th. I said, hey, bro, we have the curriculums. We have exactly all the training that you're supposed to go through. It's not going to overwhelm you. It's 100% going to work because we have the success rate of 100%. How? Because every single person who works with us gets results. If they don't, they keep working with us until they do. And if your situation is different, you know what? I'll actually work with you one-on-one. And if I work with you one-on-one, I can learn and experience that situation because it's different, as you say. And I can have that experience of helping other people too. But if that's not going to happen, right? Your situation is probably not going to be different. But if it is different, I'll just work with you one-on-one. Don't worry. You know that I can get you the results, right? Do you trust that? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, if if I work with you one-on-one, I can get you the results, then don't worry about the program. If it doesn't bring you what you want, I'll just work with you like you're a 100% exclusive client, and I'll get you the results. Don't worry. And if you don't, just get the money back, refund it back, charge it back, or literally keep working with us until you do. Okay? It really comes from a place of they really want help, bro. And they look at the YouTube videos and stuff, they watch them, but like it doesn't really give them the help that they want. Why? Because their situation is a little different. You need to really have the heart to help them. For example, we just signed a new client a couple of days ago, and this guy required some more help in the beginning, in the first 1 week. And normally, let's say we have X amount of calls for the first person when they join, right? I gave this guy 3 times more calls. I didn't get paid for them. Why? Because I want this guy to get results. And in the beginning, I realized this guy needed more help than other people. I just hopped on more one-on-one calls. This is my business. If someone comes to you and says, hey, bro, I need more help, sure, I will give that more help to you, bro. No worries. Don't worry. We got you, bro. No worries. Okay? So have the heart and help these people. Objection number 18. And the objection number 18 is, can I start with a smaller package or a trial? So, my friends, here's the situation. If you have a smaller package and a trial, you probably will get more people inside the door first because they will be able to literally see like what's inside, how does it work and stuff easily. And what I would suggest to you is I would suggest to you, if you want to be elite level at this, literally elite level at this, if you are incredibly good, you can give people a free trial. Not a free trial, like a paid trial. Let's say they pay for the only first month. But then if your product is actually incredible, they'll stay. And you need to be incredible. And especially in the beginning, when it comes to this, I don't do this anymore at all because I don't need to. Like, I just don't need to. I don't need to be busy with clients who can't pay and stuff. But I actually earned to be at this level. Bro, in the beginning of my online coaching, when I was coaching people on like productivity, I just would negotiate with people. And the problem was, when I would negotiate with people, those people wouldn't really care about the program that much, wouldn't really care about the transformation they were going to go through that much. Why? Because they're not invested. The client who pays full, and that person is like, oh, this is a lot of money, I'm going to make it happen, and when I make it happen, I'm going to also make a change in my life. Those people get great results. Why? They're invested financially, also mentally. But if the client is like, yeah, I'm just going to try it out, we'll see. If you can sense that, dive deep into the pain because you haven't dived deep into the pain enough. That's why that person is saying that, basically. Okay? So sometimes the situation is, if this person comes out of a place from, hey bro, can I start with a smaller package or a trial because I don't trust you? Show more testimonials. If this person tells you, can I start with a smaller package or trial because I literally don't have the money to pay in full? Make a payment plan. If you don't want to, cool. A lot of the elite people, high-level people, they don't, right? Why? Because they just don't give a fuck. But if you're in the beginning of your journey and you kind of need this client, then you can make a smaller package or trial as well. But in the past, as I said, I used to negotiate and stuff. Why? Because I didn't know. Like, I was beginning small business owner, you don't know. But then once you get to a certain level, you're like, I kind of don't give a fuck. Like, bro, this is going to help you. Here's all these things. You help them go through a decision. But if in the end they don't want to join, that's their decision, right? So, yeah. 18 objection Elding, that's it. Can I start with a smaller package or trial? Your product needs to be so good that when you hear this objection, you should be like, cool, no worries. Imagine if your product is so good, I can literally, in my opinion, if I had, let's say, 10 clients right now, and all of those 10 people had a 1 month trial of a 4 or 5 month program, let's say, I think all of them would continue. 100%, because they would probably make their money back from everything they learned in like 1 month probably, or close to that. And I'll be like, bro, the rest is fucking profit. I'm just staying here. So I definitely think if your product is good, you probably won't even be like, I don't give a fuck. Why? Because your product is so good, you know they're going to continue paying you because you are really good. But if you're not that good, you'll have like an insecurity about this. You know, if you have an insecurity, if someone tells you this, you know your product is not that good. Okay? So, depending on the situation, basically. Objection number 19. I don't feel comfortable committing over the call. If someone tells you, I don't feel comfortable committing over the call, honestly, all of these objections are simply because you haven't dived deep into the pain and created enough confidence. If this person had an insane amount of pain, as well as they had full confidence that you would deliver the results to this person, right? They would commit over the call as well. Here's what I tell to them. Hey bro, I totally understand that you don't want to commit on this call. That's completely understandable. You told me that you were struggling with your 9-to-5 job, that you didn't like it, you were working that, you had this part-time job, and it's not going to bring any like future to you because that job is going to give you like 10% more next year, but it's not going to bring you at all to financial freedom. And there's something here that has the potential to bring you to financial freedom. And this something that has the potential to bring you to financial freedom says that if you don't get the result, you basically get the money back, or you keep working with them until you reach financial freedom, until you make $5,000 a month. And if that's the case, tell me what the logical decision is. Because there are two paths in front of you. And one path is a path you know really well. And one path is a path that you're not really 100% sure of. But the path you know really well is the path that you had for the last couple of years that you hate and you don't want to go back. And the other one, the reason why you don't want to do the other one is because it sounds a little risky. You're not exactly sure if that's the right fit, if you're going to make it back. Totally understandable. And that's why I'm here to help you. So here's the end result. If you get to this dream outcome, then you're already happy. You already like the program. But if you don't get this dream outcome, worst case scenario, you don't get this dream outcome, you don't pay. And all the things you learned along the way just add up as like a bonus to you. You won't know how amazing this program is, how amazing everything inside is. I'm explaining to you, but like, let's say you don't trust me. Just join for 48 hours. And if you don't like it for the next 48 hours, you see what's inside, right? I'll just refund you right away. If anything is, a little less than what I'm explaining, I'll just refund you right away. Have this confidence. If they don't feel comfortable committing over the call, show them the reality. It's just emotions. If they were thinking logically and your product logically made sense, they would buy. It's just emotions. It's a lot of money. They don't want to pay on the call. It's just anxiousness. Sometimes I ask people, hey bro, do you have a lot of nerves right now? Like, are you a little anxious because it's not going to work out and stuff? And they're like, yeah, bro, I think probably it's going to work, but it's a lot of money. Because it's a lot of money, I'm just not feeling sure right now. I totally understand. Dive them into like an emotional state as well. Talk to them from an emotional point as well. Okay? So, I actually ditch 19 by giving them the best case and the worst case. I say them the best case is, hey bro, if you work with me, the best case is you make $5,000 a month as a coach, and if you don't reach that level, then here's your money back, or you get this and this, you keep working with me until you do. How does that sound? Actually, when you put it like that, the guarantee and the deliverables you have make the offer insanely strong. Okay? So, testimonials plus guarantee. How do you increase confidence of the prospect? Testimonials that you have, insane amount of testimonials, and guarantee. If you go to my Instagram and you scroll through all my testimonials page, client results, it's going to be difficult until you get to the end of it. Why? We got so much of them. I actually fucking prioritize my clients. Okay? Number 20. I'm not sure it's the right time for me. Now, I'm going to show you guys two different ways to actually objection handle this. Number one, people might tell you, let's say you will get them to buy a fitness program, relationship program, not like a time management program, or like I would say, business building program. And they're like, I'm not sure if it's the right time, man, right? Two ways to go. Number one, I tell them, hey bro, when do you think, if they tell me they're busy and shit, when do you think is the time you need the most support if you're doing this, right? They tell me, oh bro, when I'm busy, I need the most support, I guess. I tell them, oh bro, that makes sense. Generally what I've seen is the people who get started when they're busy, what happens is they're also consistent when they're not busy. But the people who get started when they're free, when they have free time, they actually don't really continue. They don't really get consistent when the busy times come, because they've never actually learned how to do this when they're busy. So it actually makes more sense to do this when you are busy, so that when you're free, you'll do this anyways. But if you get started when you're free, if you get started when it's more relaxed, you will become more busy in the future. And once you become busy, you'll drop working out. You'll drop building your business. You'll drop X, Y, and Z. So you should get started now because you are busy, because I'm here to give you the support that you need when you are busy. One way to handle it. Second way to handle it is actually, again, diving deep into the pain. Everything is pain. Everything is pain. And it's basically, totally understand, bro. Let's meet a year from now. Let's get you to work in the 9-to-5 job that you hate for a year from now. Maybe next year will be the right time. Dead silence. They'll be like, I guess it is the right time. I'm just self-sabotaging myself. Because when you say, okay, no worries, let's get you to struggle for one more year. Let's play this out. What's going to happen a year from now? You're going to be at the same exact position. How do I know this? I don't come this with from my fucking ass. How do I know this? I look at your past. What have you done in the last 24 months to build this business? Nothing. How many clients do you have? No. You're still working at the 9-to-5 job that you hate. What do you think is going to happen in the next 1 year if you don't make a change by joining this program? Nothing. Let's say it changed a little bit. Not much is going to change. You'll still be struggling. Why would you want to struggle still? Doesn't it make sense to solve this problem once and for all, even though it sounds risky? It is not risky, by the way, because you get the guarantee. No worries. Yeah, cool. So this is how do you objection handle the most common 20 objections in the game. While shooting this video, my camera stopped like fucking 4 times because my camera can only shot 30-minute videos. And when the 30 minutes end, it literally says there, camera is stopped because you reached the maximum amount of recording. And normally people put this shit into their paid programs. I'm just gonna put it for free because I want you guys to watch it and get a lot of value. And if you want to be a coach, if you want to build a coaching business, I'm not sure where I'm going to put this video, probably YouTube. You can check out the links in the description. I'll probably have like some stuff that you can check out. If you're on Instagram, you can DM me and we'll have a conversation. What I've seen is building this business completely changed my life, and working with other people, helping them also change their life as well. So that's why I love what I do, because I get to change lives. My friends, this is how we handle objections, and I'll see you in the next one.